Next up is the cam box. We're going to be changing out the cam box. This original cam box that I have here has been welded. It had a problem initially, and it didn't work very well, and it actually led to like a leak on the where the gasket was. It didn't leak in towards the cylinder; it leaked actually out. Um, Now I'm going to change this cam over into the new box, to the new cam box. So we're going to start by taking it out. As you can see, we've got 3 bolts there. They just need to be loosened up. I think it's probably a 10 spanner. You've got to loosen those 3 up. And once you loosen that cover, you tap it loose. And inside you'll find there's like a little plate. It's a holding plate which actually holds the cam, which you'll see in a few seconds. So just a few taps and yeah, this cover comes off. Just tap it very lightly and it'll come off very easily. Yeah, from this point we will remove the cap, and you'll see inside there's like a plate that actually holds the cam in place. Now that plate has to be loosened down. I think it's to 10 bolts that hold them, and once those bolts are loose, then that cam will come out very easily. And now all that needs to happen is the cam just needs to slide out. So when you slide it out, just slide it out very carefully. It will be loose, as you can see there, and once you start sliding it out, it comes out very easy. Try not to damage the cam when you bring it out. You shouldn't get much damage, but yeah, just be gentle and pull it out slowly. So now it's time to put the cam in to the new box, and yeah, just give it a good wipe. I'm going to take a little bit of oil and pour that into this container, and this we're going to use to just lubricate the cam before we put it in. We're also going to lubricate the actual cam box, just to minimize the amount of friction that gets caused when you actually insert the actual cam. The following thing we're going to install is the actual seal. That's the cam box seal. Now this seal, you got to just lube it up well, and make sure that your cam box, the actual opening where the seal is going in, is actually very clean. Make sure that there's no dirt inside there, and there's no damage on the actual body of the actual box. Now we're just going to tap it in very lightly. We actually want to line it up first. Make sure that it's equally lined up, and then just with a square piece of block, just gently tap it in, very gently, and you'll see once it's in, you'll hear the sound of the knocking on the block actually changes. At first it will sound hollow, and then it will be completely solid. Now we're going to put the cam in. And just slowly, just twist it as you're putting it in. If it's not going in, just turn it a little bit and it'll actually go in. And as you get to the other side where the seal is, just carefully push it through. Make sure that you don't push the seal out, and there you go. See? Some people prefer to put the seal in last once the cam goes in. It doesn't really matter to me either way. I've done it both ways before, and yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, this is a very important step here now. This cover that you put back onto the cam box, make sure that you've got some gasket maker solidly around that area where it actually connects with the cam box, and then make sure you tap it down well and tighten it properly. But it's very important to actually seal that actual box up there. Now we're going to be doing the gasket, and this is a straightforward, very simple step. As you can see, that gasket is hard already, so normally after a year or so you should change out that gasket. That's your cam box cover gasket, and it's a very important gasket because it tends to leak if you don't change it out well, at least once a year on your normal service. Most people don't even bother to do it, but yeah, it's essential to do it. I'm using a small little compressor here, but if you've got a big one, even better. So this is a very important step, guys. Whatever you do, don't skip this step. You need to blow out all the water out of those holes. You really have to do it. You can crack your block if you leave the water in there. Okay guys, we're going to put on the head gasket. I've cleaned all my surfaces. I'm happy with what I've seen, and now's the time to put on the head gasket. Yeah, we're using a reasonably good quality a head gasket, and this head gasket can only go on one way, guys. So between your stud and the way the pattern forms, you'll be able to see it just goes on one way. Here we go. Finally I got it. So the right thing to the top, and you can see all the holes line up. If you have a look, you'll see all the holes line up. Yeah, that's a perfect fit. That's exactly what we want. It's a good time now to make sure that all your pipes are where they are, all your electricals. I can see one is not where it should be. I'm missing this plug. He needs to come up through the top. So we're just going to keep him there for now. And let's put the head on. Let's put the head on. There we go. Studs are in. And we're going to tap him down now. Just make sure our connections are all in the right place. Right, he's there. He's here where he should be. Right, that guy goes on the inside. Through there. He's going to come up through here. We'll just leave him here for now. He goes there. Our studs are in. So you can take a wooden block and tap him down. So before I go any further, I'm just going to take out the spark plugs for now, because we're going to put in new spark plugs later on. So next up is the installation of the rockers. Now the things you see inside the head there, those are the lifters, those round balls. So those are the lifters. Now the rocker goes on top, and on top of that's obviously the cam. The cam pushes down on the rocker, and that opens up the valve, which is below the rocker. I hope that makes sense. And then it's very important that the lifter actually gives a resistance to the actual rocker. So when it moves up and down, it gives a resistance. Now, when your lifter is packing up, then that doesn't happen, and you start developing like a loss of power, number of things. But you should religiously every 2 years roughly change out all of your lifters, rockers. If you have to change the cam, you have to change it. But yeah, you should do it about every 2 years, providing you've done your service as well. So what's important about when putting back the cam box is that you don't disturb any of these the way that they are laying. They need to be level and flat. And when I put this back on, I've got to take great care in how I'm doing it, because you don't want to let them fall off or be in the wrong, at the wrong angle. They need to be as straight as possible. Okay, we've put on our gasket between the cam box and the cylinder head, and most times I put on gasket maker, but this time I'm going to try it with the actual gasket that comes with this thing. So let's hope and pray that that actually works well. And here we go, I'm putting it on. Just be careful, guys, be careful. Just be careful. Line your studs up directly over. There we go. I'm just turning the cam to make sure that the one side goes down. Yeah, that's better. There you go. Yeah, he's now more or less in position. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay guys, what we're doing right now is we're just going to input in our cylinder head bolts. We're going to put some grease on them. Purpose of the grease is to ensure that the bolt doesn't actually bind. Just don't get it on the bottom, just on the sides. Should be enough. And on the top, just below the cap. That's where you want to get it. Alright, all our bolts are in now guys. We're going to start tightening down the bolts. And we're going to follow our order. Whatever we do, we follow our order. This is the tightening order. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set our torque wrench to 25 Newton meters, and obviously they all have got the scales, but yeah, 25 Newton meters is where we want to be. 5 Newton meters. So we're going to start in our order. Ah, it's progress. It's progress. Just double checking that we have got them all the same. Yes. So now we're at 25 Newton meters, and now we can actually use the degree torquing method, which is 60 degrees, 60 degrees, and then the last one of 60 degrees as well. So let me show you the degree method. Okay, so we've just done our first one, number 1. Okay, we're going to do a number 2 now. That's number 2. Number 3. Number 4. 10. Back to number 3. That's our first one that we've done. We've done one set. And I'm just going to mark that we've done one. This is just so you don't get confused. You got to concentrate when you're doing this. So you don't want to get confused as to where you are and to how many sets you've done. We'll start again at number 1. 60. 60. 60. 60. Right. So second one. 82. Now the last one. Now we're doing the last one, which is the one that breaks your nerves, because this one oh, 61. Number 2. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, that was pretty strenuous, but I survived. I'm just gonna put some oil on to these lobes here, because when the engine turns and starts up, then we want there to be as much lubrication as possible on the top here. And we'll take like a second or so for that oil to actually get to the top. We did lose a little bit of oil, so it's not really gonna matter to put in a little bit on top here. It's not going to harm it, but it's rather better just to have some oil on top of these parts that are going to touch immediately. What we're doing now is, just before I've put on everything, where the timing belt is concerned, so I'm just turning the engine now. I just want to make sure that there's nothing knocking, that my pistons are not knocking my valves, etc. And also this will help the oil pump to pump some oil to the top. Yeah, sounds good, feels good. Hi guys, welcome back. At this stage of the video, which is basically at the end of it, I've lost most of the footage, especially at the end part and some in the middle. I've lost some of the footage. Now the video became corrupted, as well as the audio has become corrupted. So I'm just gonna have to make this outro for the end of the video. And everything went very well. Unfortunately, after a day or two of actually driving the bakkie, I started to hear noise, sound. So what happened was that one of the lifters has packed up, and it's going to have to be. So I think this is something that, I want to emphasize. It's a good example of, don't do something unless you're going to do all the parts that need to be done. Because if something doesn't work, you've got to go back in, open the engine up again. And I must say, this is not something that I'm looking forward to. But you know what? I'm going to get it done, and I'm going to get through it. So yeah. So in the next video, you're going to see me doing the cylinder head. You're going to see me doing the actual changing of the lifters, and actually how to treat the lifters, how to prime them, how to make sure that you don't have any issues once you start up the actual vehicle. I think that it's vitally important that you actually watch this part of the video. I'm going to make it into a short form video, and with a lot of detail, but it's something that I think that everyone will benefit from. So guys, I'd like to say thank you to all of you who are supporting my channel, and all of you who are subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, please go down to the bottom and subscribe to my channel. Turn on your notifications, and don't forget to like the video as well.